HMCS Athabaskan was a tribal-class destroyer that served with the Royal Canadian Navy in the immediate post-Second World War era. She was the second destroyer to bear the name Athabaskan, after the many tribes throughout Western Canada that speak Athabaskan family languages. Both this ship and the original HMCS Athabaskan were destroyers, and thus this one became known as Athabaskan II.Built. Too late to see action in the North Atlantic, Athabaskan served in the Korean War and played an important role in Canadian post-war naval reform following a crew protest in 1949. Construction. Athabaskan was ordered in April 1942. She was laid down the 15th of May 1943 at Halifax shipyards and launched the 4th of May 1946. She was one of 4 tribal-class destroyers built in Halifax during the Second World War. She was commissioned into the Royal Canadian Navy on the 20th of January 1948 at Halifax. Operational history. After commissioning, Athabaskan sailed for the West Coast to begin her career as a training ship. She performed this task until the outbreak of the Korean War. It was during this period that the mutiny took place. 1949 Mutiny. On the 26th of February 1949, when the Athabaskan was on fueling stop at Manzanillo, Colima, Mexico, 90 leading seamen and below, constituting more than half the ship's company, locked themselves in the mess decks, and refused to come out until getting the captain to hear the grievances. The captain acted with great sensitivity to defuse the crisis, entering the mess for an informal discussion of the sailors' grievances and carefully avoiding using the term mutiny, which could have had severe legal consequences for the sailors involved. Specifically, while talking with the disgruntled crew members, the captain is known to have placed his cap over a written list of demands which could have been used as legal evidence of a mutiny, pretending not to notice it. At nearly the same time, similar incidents happened on HMCS Crescent at Nanjing, China, and on the carrier HMCS Magnificent in the Caribbean, both of whose captains acted similarly to that of the Athabaskan. Korean War. Athabaskan operated during the Korean War, earning the Battle Honor. Korea 1950–53, returned to training role. Following Korea, Athabaskan underwent a major refit recommissioning on the 25th of October 1954 as a destroyer escort. On the 1st of January 1955, Athabaskan was assigned to the 2nd Canadian Escort Squadron of Pacific Command. In November 1955, the 2nd Canadian Escort Squadron was among the Canadian units that took part in one of the largest naval exercises since the Second World War. Off the coast of California, she returned to her training mission, which lasted until January 1959. That month, she transferred to the East Coast, where she became part of the destroyer squadron made up of the tribal-class destroyers in the Royal Canadian Navy. She spent the next 5 years on training cruisers with occasional North Atlantic Treaty Organization exercises. Athabaskan was placed in reserve in 1964 at Halifax. Decommissioning and fate. Athabaskan was paid off for disposal on the 21st of April 1966. She was sold in 1969 and scrapped in 1970 at La Spezia, Italy.